Let's get our awesome guest on. Και καλώς το παλικάρι μας, ο μόνος και μοναδικός, ο Pantelis Krestas.
I'm
How
just
are you?
That's fine. I'm good, thanks.
Very
Yourself?
humble, very humble. Welcome to the KK Factor, the Greek Eurobeat show on RPPFM, the voice of the peninsula, 98.7. We, as you would have heard, there were some technical issues. I forgot to press on air when I started the show. Thank goodness someone was in the studio saying, hey, well, we can't hear your show. What's going on? And then I had Miss Kalambara say to me, well, we can hear your guest, but we just can't, you can't hear her. It's like, oh, whoops. But everything's running smoothly for you.
Well, that's good. That's a good start then.
It is, but everything is running smoothly for you, full stop. As someone who lives and breathes music, for our audience that don't know Pantelis Krestas, he's been in the Greek music scene for, geez, so many years. And many musicians that we know here also have a normal job, like a full-time job, and they do their singing or they're playing an instrument on weekends, or they're in-house musicians for, venue. But with Pantelis, this is your full-time job. You live, you breathe it. This is what you do.
I have been a full-time musician since 2016. So it wasn't always the case. I had to work towards that. But I'm just one of the guys that no different from anybody else. I just work hard at it and love what I do. So
I love how you're so humble. I really do, because our audience doesn't know even the rest of it now. But let's start from the start. So before 2016, what were you doing at that time? And then what made you decide you're going to stop and focus on music?
okay, well, it's a nice question to start with. Well, I don't really. Sorry, let me just put that on
That's okay.
silent. I don't really, haven't had the chance to sort of talk about that because I usually just sort of let my work do the talking. But since you asked quickly, I was mixture of jobs. I was working in IT, then I was working at our taverna with my dad and my brother. And then I got into real estate after working in logistics and trucks and stuff. And then going to all those seminars, all those seminars kept talking about you have to do what you're
Love.
here to do, yeah, and what you love, and like, all of these instances were kept pointing me towards, being a musician. So at about 2014, I made the decision to attempt, to make a plan to go forward, and I got into uni, and then one thing led to another, and got to where I got
And
to.
here you are. That's a very inspiring story, because normally, and how can I put this in words without anyone taking offense, but normally the women sort of hold back. Normally the men will continue just working to support the women in the family. So if you're in a family environment, you're married, you've got children, the wife will be doing what she can. The man just is the main breadwinner. And then when you actually make a decision as the main source of income and say to yourself, you know what, this is what I want to do. I love doing this, and I'm just going to drop everything and focus. It is a big risk which you took. But obviously these seminars motivated you. And as you said earlier, you put a plan in place. You can't just drop everything and then hope that it's all going to turn out.
Look, there's two parts to what you said that I really want to emphasize on. The first is with the partner and the wife and the fiance and the girlfriend.
I hope it's only one at the time.
No, but everyone's situation is different.
It's
They could be in a
different.
relationship, engaged, married, and so forth.
Thank you.
I have been very lucky that the people in my life at the time that I decided to go full time music were very, very supportive. And when you work for yourself, it's a very lonely journey. There's no, you don't have many people, going, oh, you go, you go. It's quite the opposite, actually. It's, yeah, but that's another conversation. But in terms of, it's about, and it could be the other way around. It could be the woman that wants to be a musician, singer, actor, dancer. Having the right partner is a very, very important thing. And
It
I've
is.
been lucky enough to have the best partner at the time that encouraged me to continue. What was the second part that you mentioned that was about taking
It's
a
a
risk?
risky. It's a big risk. Kalispera also from our Daphne. We know Daphne.
Hey, Daphne. Yes, look, I, again, not many people know this. I worked 3 jobs for 18 years. And the only way that, something like this was doable was to work hard and sacrifice your 20s and 30s so that when you get to this part of, the 40s, you can make a decision like that. But the real reason that I want to share this time around was I got sick in 2016. I have a disease called gastroparesis, and when I was diagnosed with that, gastroparesis is a digestive disease. When I was diagnosed with that, I made the decision that money and wealth doesn't give you happiness. It doesn't matter
That's
how
right.
much you can make. It can give you security, but at the end of the day, I thought to myself, if I was to not be able to do anything tomorrow, would I have achieved what I wanted to achieve? And that's why I did music full time. It wasn't money. It was just the love and
And
life.
you had the right, yeah, you had the right partner. That is so, so important. You can't have a partner who's going to clip your wings or put you
Mm.
down because then you're up against that. And then there's resentment. So for you, you've been blessed. And I'm so glad that you opened up. And thank you so much for sharing your personal journey, including your health. It is really good that you did that. And the reason why I also say this is because a friend of ours and someone that you also work in theatre productions with, George Capanaras, we had him on the show not long ago. And we
Mm.
were talking about men's health and we nearly lost him. And it's important that men are courageous enough to talk about their health because there's a lot of men out there that, they're not that as courageous. And it's great to hear. And well done to you for doing that, Padili, because it is important that you shared that. Because,
It's,
people see you and they go, look, there's nothing wrong with him. He can do anything. But
mm.
you're human.
No,
That's
we're all human, but I mean that I usually don't share personal stuff, but I think it's time that it's time that people get to know who I am, and that no one has it easy. And for anybody that thinks that that old adage saying, you do what you love, you don't work a day in your life, that's not necessarily true. You're still working. You're just lucky enough to be doing what you like doing, but it's not easy. It doesn't make it any easier. It's still something that you have to work at. You could be naturally gifted, but it doesn't mean anything. It's
you
all
need
about
to
how
work
much.
hard.
Yeah, you need to work at it. But yeah, so George was very lucky, and we're doing something with George later on in the year, a podcast with me, George, Tony, Nico, and another guest that we're currently speaking with. But look, it is true. We should be more open about. Another big one that we should definitely talk about at some point is mental health.
Yep.
That's very, very
It's
very
very, very
important.
important. Many of my audience know that I'm a mental health champion, and I'm a very big advocate when it comes to mental health. I've shared a lot of my personal experiences. And actually, during the show later on, I was going to share something that I did, something very unique with a psychologist last week. And that's important to share as well, but not right now. But I'm glad that you brought up mental health, especially men's mental health. Will you, when you do this podcast, will you be touching on men's health?
I think, look,
Incorporating it in any way?
there's with when you're around George Capanaras, Tony Nikolakopoulos, these guys are people that like to spread joy and laughter. I mean, you turn on Instagram and YouTube now, with AI, everybody's a health influencer, everybody's a doctor. I think we need to sort of step back and have a laugh a bit, because
We do.
we've got. I mean, I don't have a smartwatch on at the moment, but I do have one. I'm guilty of that. But everything's like the numbers. Like, how many steps did I do today? Did I walk enough kilometers? Did I
Yeah,
eat
like,
enough calories? It was just funny. I was just reading the comments. Alex Litsudi said,
I'm the same as an actor. It isn't easy being when, especially when you've got an illness, sickness, a disability. Yeah,
because if you work for yourself, you have to suck it up. But
you
no one,
do.
look, I've never been the type to go up to people and say to them, "This is my problem." I've talked about other things, but with the challenges in working in Melbourne's music scene, but not so much about that health. But I think tonight you sort of hit a nerve, and I'm like, you know what? I'll reveal it, because
Thank you.
I'm revealing a single. I'm doing all that sort of stuff. So yeah,
I will
why not?
start revealing everything till we get to the single.
No, sure, no worries. Ask away. Ask away.
Oh, thank you, Badili. And yeah, um, Tony Nicolopoulos, George Capignaris, yourself, you guys go on stage together and
And
obviously
Maria
have a lot of
Maroulis.
fun. And Maria Maroulis, yes, and you have so much fun, and you're out there to spread that love and to spread the laughter, get people laughing. Like sometimes I think, geez, I haven't laughed in a long time. And then I rock up to a show and that's all I'm doing. And, and sometimes you hear the same joke, but in that moment, you're still laughing.
I can honestly say that having the luxury to work with Maria Maroulis, Tony Nicolakopoulos, and George Capignaris has been such a great learning experience, and an opportunity to perform and step outside of the comfort of just holding a bouzouki. With Maria, we sort of delve into doing Italian songs. We do Greek songs. And a bit of acting on like George and Tony have been such good teachers to both of us, and Maria to me as well, because I have to say that with Maria, I'm guilty of this, and I'll announce this now. Many people that know me, there's this thing that, he doesn't smile on stage and he's not happy. Why is his face always like that? And my role has always been to be like a maestro and like musical director. So in my mind, that I'm talking to keyboard players, bass players, drummers, singers
All at
are
the
forgetting
same
words.
time. Yeah,
Right.
you're
So my
very
face is
focused.
serious. Yeah. And people just see that, they're like, "Oh, this guy is really upset at something." And then Maria pulled me up, and she's like, "We're on stage." And again, I'm thinking, is the music working? Is this working? Where's it? And she looks at me, she goes, "Smile." And I'm
Smile.
like, so guilty. I am not angry. I am just focusing. But yeah.
I know. It's the same like before the social media platforms and when you're on radio and you speak and you have to smile. It sort of comes through on the airwaves.
Mm.
And sometimes my co-hosts from other radio stations will be like, she's not smiling or he's not smiling. And I send a little message, can you please smile? Because listening to you, you can tell you're not smiling. It's really strange, but it does make a big difference. So Sophie Tsaki, she says, Καλησπέρα σας από την Ελλάδα. Πάντα
Καλησπέρα.
επιτυχίες. Συγχαρητήρια. Πάντα επιτυχίες. Yes, absolutely. Now, back to you. You're taking your bouzouki another level. I'm so proud, really proud to have you on my show to
Thank
talk
you.
about this because, musicians are gifted. They play their instruments, they come up with new little things, but you've taken it to another level. And hence, you've got the album, the single. But just before we go there, let's just talk about what you also currently do. So you're teaching at St. John in Preston.
Yeah, I
And you,
teach bouzouki
Mhm.
and run a bouzouki ensemble and have a band. There's two bands now. We're just starting the kids initiative is they wanted to start a paradosiaco band. Sorry if I said that wrongly, but
It's okay. What's a Paradiasico band for those that don't understand like
but
me?
it's clarina and demotica and
Okay. The
mishotica, a
folk,
bit of
the
the
island
folk
music.
music. Yeah.
Beautiful.
But it's nice because there are kids that play folk instruments, and most of the band is like they like their laika and stuff, and they're the cool
Yeah.
stuff. But it's a good idea to not forget where we come from. My dad he used to sing Dimotica, so I've grown up around that. But these kids are taking it, north to Thrakiotica, Floriniotica,
Wow.
Kodiaka. So it's good. This generation, I think these guys are like fifth generation now. Fifth and fourth, a combination of fifth and fourth generation that are striving to do Greek music, and we have to support them. We have to, with all respect, I understand that there are people that feel that they have to perform, but it's our duty to sort of step back and let them take the lead a little bit.
Yep, and become their own people. Yes.
We have to encourage their passion, enthusiasm, and energy. So it's important that the youth continues. I'm 42, and I'm not saying I'm old by any means, but
Oh no, you're still a baby compared to me.
no, but I'm saying, like, at 42, I shouldn't be mixing with 15 to 25-year-olds.
But you've got a skill and a talent, and you're helping them. You're not clipping their wings. You're encouraging them to continue. And you
That's
do
what I'm
need
getting at.
someone that's older, that's been there and
Yes,
knows.
but be the leader in the background. Don't be the guy that has to take, try and step on other people's shoulders to get.
Okay.
That's what I'm sort of saying. Let these kids enjoy. How else are they going to experience like when I was 20, I was working at, Bouzouki and playing for my dad and full nightclub audiences, and I went through that buzz. I played at nightclubs. I've been through all that. If I continue doing that now, like, try and push these kids to do more. I am continuing to do it, but what I'm saying is that push them. Like, all my students,
Encourage them.
all my students most of them are performing. The other ones, I've got about 3 or 4 up and coming, and I don't, I don't say to them that you have to perform. They want to do it, but then when they want to do it, I take them with me, and they come and observe what I do, and then they do it in their own way. I don't chastise them or try and, like you said, clip their wings and say this is the way you have to do it. I believe. I mean, in university, they said that music is a subjective thing. I believe the same thing about life and experiences. They're all subjective to what stage of life that you're at. We're not all going to see the same thing and experience the same thing. We're at the same place, but our interpretation of events is quite different.
Yep.
And they need to experience that.
And on top of all that, you do private lessons.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I took too long with that.
No, that's fine. No, that's good.
Yes.
You do private lessons. So if people are listening now and saying, I'd like Banili to help my child, grandchild, nephew, niece, how do they get in touch with you?
They can contact me on Instagram. All my details are there, and just shoot me through a message. And if I'm available and I have time, because I'm pretty busy with students, I do have every night I teach pretty much, and I wanted to started off teaching only like 4, but because I left Friday, Saturday, Sundays for performance, but now it's full. So yeah, if they want, just follow me on Instagram, and if I can help, I will.
There you go. Now, Badili, that's not just teaching students and private lessons. You're also producing singers, artists. You're composing. You're writing their music, or you're doing their lyrics, or they do the lyrics. You're composing. You put things together. Tell us that part of the career that you're now forming as well.
So I've always had a thing since 20 years old, when I was at my dad's nightclub, or taverna, whichever you call it, and I was thrown in the deep end to manage, a 7-piece band and 5, 6 singers, including my father, which is another mountain of responsibility. But I've always enjoyed bringing musicians and singers together and forming a nice end product. With composition and writing music, it's kind of the same thing, except you're working in the background, and I like that because it's quiet. It's quiet. The performance is a different piece. It's different performing on stage. It's more of a you're acting, but the real magic happens behind the scenes. So, someone that writes a lyric says to you, I want I want this to be played. Like, for example, a recent one was that I didn't really heavily advertise was Wog Boy. The last Wog Boy, I played bouzouki on that. And originally the idea was for me to go in and play 3 little parts. From 3 little parts, it turned into a recording of 300 parts, roughly around there. And we did that over 2 days because the guy was like, okay, play this. And I said, okay. And I did it, pretty much first take. And then I go, okay, do it again. And he goes, what for? I said, I've got to put another harmony on it, another layer. And then Nick Giannopoulos and Nick will vouch for this. Hello, Nick, if you're listening. Nick
Yes,
and the
Nico?
Nick and the producer sort of looked at each other and they said, "No, let's go." And this was like towards COVID time, so yeah. But I mean, that's how it works. People tell you an idea, a feeling, you talk, and then from conversation you develop. And it's not. I believe in teamwork. It's
Yeah,
not
work
my way.
together.
So as a singer, as a lyricist, it doesn't matter what you are. You work together to develop something, to give birth to something, if you like to put it in those terms. But yeah, that's something that I'm into now. I'm producing. I'll be doing some other shows later on in the year, a couple of tribute shows. So I'll be working with artists from overseas and writing music in the studio for them to perform. So that's going to be a new challenging task. Yeah, it's exciting times ahead.
It's very exciting. So if I thought, yeah, I've got a not bad voice, there's a song I want the lyrics of this song. I'm going to go to Bandili. This is my voice. These are the lyrics I want in a song. This is what I want the song to be about. What can you do for me? Would you then sort of like make me do the do, re, fi, sa, sol, la, whatever, and work out my tones and then say, okay, well, this is where you need to be. This is the type of music. I'll create the song for you and let's do it.
We're heading into the business end of the conversation now. All I'll say to you is this: I will work with your assets to
Yep.
make you achieve the goal that you would like. The
That's
method is
amazing.
fluid. The
That's
method is fluid.
amazing. I like how you put that together. I like that because back in the days when I was doing my karaoke shows and I'd get people up to sing, it was about building their self-esteem, especially the ones that say, I would not sing. And by the end of the night, I had them up there. And then it was tuning them in so they can sound nice because you didn't want to put them up there and they fail and people laugh at them. You'd put them up there and you tune them in, you join in and you make a few little adjustments for the voice and voila, little artists, upcoming artists.
I think with that you're right. It's a psychology thing. Like even with when you're playing bouzouki, at weddings or someone will come up and say to you, I'm a singer, and you look at them and you're like, are you not? And then within like the first sort of 5 seconds of them going to sing the first lyric, I mean, I know pretty much before when they come up, but then the job is basically, to answer this in more detail, it's psychological. You got to support them, even if they sound horrible or you got to find a way. Hopefully the team behind is coping as well, and they're not cracking it. But my job is that in between. So if they come to me, I'm gonna smile at them when they're singing and stuff, and try my best so that they can have an experience where they can either walk away and say, I enjoyed that and I learned something, rather than I went and played and they were laughing at me.
Yeah.
Because there is that fear as well. But there's two sides to this coin. There's the one where you got the 15, 16-year-old that, the parent brings them up and says, oh, my daughter, my son sings or my son plays bouzouki, get them up. And you can see that they're that intimidated. They're so scared of what's going to happen. And then, like with me, like 9 times out of 10, I'll be like, yeah, play. Get on and play. And just do it. And they're like, but what? Don't worry about the what if.
Just do
Just
it.
do it. Just do it. You can't. I mean, it's just that's the type of we're delving into my teaching now. I mean, that's the way that I teach too. It's like, I want to do this, do it. And they just look at it. It's just everyone's just like, they look at you like, nah.
Yeah.
Is it that easy? Well, it's not that hard.
Yeah.
The worst thing that you can do is fail and learn something.
I really like how you have a duty of care towards that person. You're not putting him in a situation where they're going to be mocked. You handle it really well. So, is it true that everybody's got a voice and everyone can sing, but they can't sing the same songs or style of songs? So, if someone wants to sing, you have to find what note and then build their confidence. Or is it not everybody can sing? I put you on the spot now, didn't I?
No, look. I'm just trying to think how I can phrase this, because the question is a black and white question that has a grey answer, but I'll answer it as quick as I possibly can. So, if we're talking about a commercial world singer, like someone that can make it like a Madonna, Lady Gaga, or something like that, then I would have to say yes, everybody has a voice, because it's how you facilitate that voice.
Yeah.
But if we're being judged on our musicality, then it's a different criteria.
Okay.
But the first part of your question, yes. The task is, though, when you have someone like, I can just off the top of my head, one singer that has a weird voice, two of them. The famous one is Yorgo Margariti,
Okay.
right? He has like this high pitch frequency voice that if you isolate it, you're like, is this guy a singer, or you know what I mean? But the whole thing worked. He developed
Yes.
his uniqueness.
Yes.
Same as Christo Kyriazi, like these guys. I have to admit, none of his notes are actually in tune. They're all
Wow.
out.
So
But
I came across a new singer, or not a new singer, but she's creating music now and she's got new songs coming out, Alexandra Bonazza.
mhm.
And her songs are like they're all different tones. It's like she's singing jazz now, she's singing a little bit of opera now, and then it's like a bit of pop, but her voice changes to suit the style of music. And I'm like, wow, that's really good, because I don't know many that can do that. Normally, you hear a singer, and that's the style they sing all the time, and that's where they're at. That's their comfort zone.
yeah, but you know what, though? I mean, I'm going to be the bad guy here. Like, think about the greats, though. Did Sinatra change the way he sung?
No,
He just did. He did every song. He owned every song, and I
that's
think
it.
I think the people that are chameleons when they sing are not comfortable with what they're about,
Ah,
and
okay.
I
It's like
would.
it's like I'm going to interrupt you. It's like Marie Maroulas. She's done her Greek, she does her English, but she can sing opera, and I've heard it. And
Maria
it's like,
Maroulis is
whoa,
yeah.
like
I don't
whoa,
I don't feel like I can comment on how good she is, but she's brilliant.
she can sing opera. It's like
She can sing
wow,
anything. She can sing anything. But
good on her.
it's
But
it's easy to look. When you're spectating, you only see a small portion of what that person can do, because if you go to a rock concert to hear an opera singer, that's not going to happen.
no, that's exactly right.
So
That's exactly right. But Dilim, going back to your Buzuki now, because it's all about you. Buzuki Chill. You're going to collaborate English music with Greek on your Buzuki Chill. Like no one has put the word chill after Buzuki, but you have. And you've created this album with 10 songs. The first song coming out is The Drive. Is that correct?
the drive, yeah,
The
comes out.
Drive.
It releases on Friday.
Yep. And so we're looking forward to that one. And it's supposed to be like you've worked all day, or you've been singing or playing the bouzouki all night. Now you're driving home and you just want to listen to something and chill. Sometimes when I'm on radio and if I've got bubbly music going, sometimes like I don't want to hear a sound now while I'm driving home. But other times it's I needed to keep going. And then I go home and then I just can't get down to go to sleep for a few hours. I'm still like I'm in that zone. I just cannot. So tell us about the Buzuki Chill.
Okay, so this track, I came up with this idea a couple of years ago and didn't get a chance to sort of get it down. It was, say you finished work Doesn't matter what it is. It could be 5:30, and I find that you're always stuck in traffic in Melbourne, and you know whatever time you finish. So for me, weekends working, a lot of the times it'd be what you said: no music, just dead silence. If it's a loud gig, then yeah. But luckily now I have these like headphones that block that out. But when you want to do that automated thing and not, I needed something just to bring you not down and not up, just to keep you going, the
Chilled.
flow. Yeah, chill. And that's where the chill came. So there's the song, the album's called Bouzouki and Chill. Um, it's not meant to be an aggressive album. It's not meant to be traditional in the sense that you're going to listen to it and you're going to be like ready to go. Even the house track that I've got coming out next,
Yeah.
which is another one, is again it's geared to be something that you can sit down at home, have guests over, put it on, and it's not in your face. It's just there, filling a void, if you like, and
Will
seamless.
introverts enjoy it?
I think so.
You think so?
I
So
think so.
bouzouki, we know bouzouki. We get on the tables, we get on chairs. Is that what we're going to do when we're listening to this?
No, but you'll definitely move to it. You'll bop around to it.
Mm.
It's I wanted to explore into what I like to call a hybrid genre. It's looking at bouzouki as an instrument rather than a cultural icon.
Oh,
The
yes, you're right,
the
because
the
that's what
tradi-
we look at it.
Mm.
Yeah.
So the rebetes and the like bouzouki, this probably won't agree with what I'm doing with, and that's okay. But it still needs to exist. It's a works that I think in 2025 it will help with the survival of the instrument. There's that as well. There's especially in because Greece is only 10 million, and there's a lot of Greeks migrated to Australia, UK, America, South Africa. We need to cater for them and the young generation. We need to bring them
Mm.
together with modern beats and show that bouzouki is not just this mangik or whatever sort of perception it has. It's a musical instrument, firstly.
It's an instrument that can do a lot of things, and you need to step out of that zone and
Yeah.
show what this instrument can do, and that's exactly what you're doing.
I've focused on melody and harmony. I haven't focused on the cultural aspect of the instrument. So if
Okay.
somebody's coming to listen to my album and is expecting to hear the cultural representation of bouzouki, they will be disappointed. But if they have, uh, if they're open to something different, they'll like it, and
Okay.
that's all I
I
can say.
Okay, so I know it's not coming out till next week. Can you give us a little bit of it? Like a little 30 seconds on your bouzouki? Can you accommodate?
Um,
What do you
I don't know if it'll come out because of the speaker, but
it might.
this I have uploaded something on Instagram if they want to go have a look there. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I'd have to tune the bouzouki in front. I was teaching earlier before, so I was just like,
Oh, no. I thought if I go to a song, you can give us a little just get ready and give us
sure. If
something.
you go to a song,
All right,
I'll
I'm gonna go to a song, and the song is called "Πάμε στους δικούς σου" by Stamatis Gonidis. Okay, we'll play that, and I'll continue to play even the second song if I need to. You'll let me know when you're ready.
done.
Right, let's go. We can do this. All right, let's go on to Anígο Δρόμο by Pavlos Asporegerakas. While Padili gets the bouzouki happening, we've got plenty of time, Padili, so don't stress about it. We'll enjoy the following songs. And Tony says, what a legend he is. God bless him. Such a great man. Bravo, Levendimo. Opa, opa from Tony. Alex says, Pamerula. Alex says, I can't even sing.
Μια εχμαλωτή καρδιά καίει μέσα στη φωτιά, μα δεν βγάζει πουθενά. Ανοίγω δρόμο να φύγεις πια οριστικά και στο χρεώνω. Με κρατάς στο γενικά, αφιερώνω στον εαυτό μου τη βραδιά. Να ανοίγω δρόμο, να πας μωρό μου στο καλό, δεν έχω χρόνο σε σένα να τον σπαταλώ. Αν μια δεν θέλεις, δεν θέλω αγάπη μου εκατό. Να σαν λεπίδα το κορμί μου χαράζει την ψυχή και σε λάθη μου οδηγεί. Στην καρδιά μου κεραυνός με χτυπάει ανελιπώς, μ' αλλάζει κι ο καιρός. Ανοίγω δρόμο να φύγεις πια οριστικά και στο χρεώνω. Με κρατάς στο γενικά, αφιερώνω στον εαυτό μου τη βραδιά. Να ανοίγω δρόμο, να πας μωρό μου στο καλό, δεν έχω χρόνο σε σένα να τον σπαταλώ. Αν μια δεν θέλεις, δεν θέλω αγάπη μου εκατό. Να ανοίγω δρόμο, να πας μωρό μου στο καλό, δεν έχω χρόνο σε σένα να τον σπαταλώ. Αν μια δεν θέλεις, δεν θέλω αγάπη μου εκατό. No.
How's that Badili going?
Ready to
Oh,
go.
you're ready, are you?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to go into Badili. Badili is ready.
So it's kind of hard to place because there's not all the background, but I'll give you an idea of what it's.
Yeah, because you can't give us the whole song.
So it's, the idea started. We went. We wrote a bridge. Then I wrote a bridge.
Wow.
So it was a bit of a.
It's very different. I like it. Now, for our non-Greek listeners, give
Mhm.
us a little bit of traditional Greek. The
Okay,
bouzouki,
so the traditional Greek will be.
All right, bring on the ouzo. That's the traditional bouzouki. I really like how the music you played before, and then we went to the traditional, is so different. But it's
Yeah,
amazing what the instrument can do, but it's also the person that is going to push the instrument out of its comfort zone, out of what its purpose was, being Greek and doing what it does. Well done, Padili.
I would like to think of it more as music, not as a virtuoso sort of journey. So I'm not a virtuoso by any means. I'm just a musician that loves bringing music together and sound together, and hopefully it makes someone smile or
Well,
forget.
obviously, you're doing the right thing because you're also on demand. You do weddings, you're invited to weddings. And you also do a lot of volunteering. You go to Fronditha Care
Yes, yes,
and you
yeah.
take the
I'm helping. I used to do it years ago by myself, but then I've been lucky enough to join Nico Makrinaki, Ross. He likes to go by Thrasivolo, but I'm going to say Ross and Jimbo, the keyboard player. I've joined that crew, and We're playing on the 25th in St Albans. We did Clayton the other day. It's nice to give back to the people that allowed us
so
to be
good.
playing Greek music today.
That is so good, especially how busy you are, as we spoke earlier on, and you also find the time to give. Well done, Badili.
Thank you.
And you also work at events.
Yes.
And then people are now wondering, how do you find the time?
A lot of planning, and yeah, I mean, I was performing in Sydney on Sunday, so got back yesterday. It's not like I said, it's not easy. It's not easy, and
But you're doing
um,
what you love, and that's what counts.
yeah, I find strength in that it gives me meaning, and that's more important than anything. It's the thing that I was here to do, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm not doing it for anybody else. I'm doing it for me
Well
because
done.
it completes me. So anything else that comes is a gift, I guess. And I don't want to really sound too cliche, but that's the truth. Every opportunity that or every door that this thing opens is a gift for me.
Well done, Badili. And
Thank
in
you.
the next 5 years, what do we see?
The next 5 years, you'll see a lot of production work on Spotify, a lot of concerts and performances that my own music, and heading towards more orchestral and English work as well. So again, starting this chapter with the hybrid genre, I will probably get into the house music scene performing live, but I want to do it with a band and a DJ as well. But I want to have a symphony orchestra behind me because I write for that as well. And yeah, head down that path. I think it'll be an interesting chapter. There's plenty of bouzouki players playing traditional stuff, and I will do that too. But
You're
my
going to give us something different.
yeah, I think I just want to be yeah, I guess challenged in that sense.
Badili,
Something
thank you so, so much. It's been a
pleasure. Thank you.
pleasure. We can't wait to hear the song. So it's coming out on the 25th. Is
This
that right?
Friday, yeah, this
This
Friday, yeah.
Friday. And it'll be on Spotify, obviously on your social platforms, Pantelis with Pande, Pantelis,
The
Kresta.
correct spell. That's the correct spelling. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, it'll be on there. It'll be on YouTube. It'll be everywhere. It'll be everywhere. Apple Music, Spotify. If you want to find it, you find it. If you can't find it, come to my Instagram or Facebook, and you'll find it there.
Or TikTok. I found you on TikTok. You're everywhere. So that's what matters. And you're also on LinkedIn as well.
There you go. I don't know.
There you go. You need to use that because you're going to another level of professionalism now. Badili, thank you so, so much and wishing you huge success. I know that you and I will catch up very soon
Definitely.
and be part of the whole journey. So thank you so much. And thank you for coming on the show and performing and yeah, and then just telling us your whole journey.
My pleasure. I will be performing and playing in Italy in the next 2 weeks a performance there. So after that, when I get back, we'll catch up, and I'll definitely look forward to being in your presence one more time.
Thank you so much, Panteli. Thank you very, very much. Την αγάπη μας.
Take care.